And hello everyone, welcome back to another unboxing video, and this time we have the Jurassic World Amber Collection Pteranodon from Jurassic Park 3, the Funko Pop Godzilla vs. Kong Mechagodzilla figure, and in the back there we got Mattel's Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Spinosaurus figure, which is the one I'm actually most excited for unboxing because I've been trying to get a Spinosaurus toy for like the longest time, and every time they've had one I could never get it. So this is I'm finally able to get one, and let's go ahead and get right to it. Alright, we're back, guys, and I just want to apologize for the inconsistent lighting. You see, I'm not running this high tech, kind of setting, anything like that. Like, I'm literally just making these videos in my room. So I just got to deal with the days where the weather is not so good, Uh, and today it's very cloudy, so I have to turn on my light because otherwise it just looks like a black screen. So here we are. We're looking at the Funko Pop Mechagodzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong. And I mean, honestly, my first impressions of this figure was it looks really, really good. You know, for a little chibi size Funko figure, they've put more detail on this than I think they've put on any of their other figures. It's quite impressive and very, very cool. I mean, now, of course, the back of the mouth isn't too detailed, but like the top of the mouth and the bottom of the mouth, you can see all like the little mechanical detailing. The claws look really cool. I love how, it looks like he's about to, fight Godzilla, and like, I can just imagine if they put in like the effect, they could have put like a blue effect to make it look like he's charging up his punch. And yeah, I mean, his red dorsal plates and everything. Now, sadly, so far, the red is only on his eyes and on the tip of his dorsal plates, which is a bit disappointing because in the movie it looked like there was red kind of throughout his body, especially on the torso part. But it's fine. It's a still very detailed figure. Looks very good. Not much to say really. So we're just gonna leave it at that and move on to the next figure. But I just want to say, like, this is like overall my overall impression is that it's a really cool little figure, and I'm looking forward to get the other ones. So yeah, let's move on. Alright, and here we have the Amber Collection Pteranodon from the movie Jurassic Park 3. So this is actually my first non-raptor figure from the Amber Collection. Even though there's the Dilophosaurus, I missed out on that one. I thought they were going to bring that in Target. They probably did, but I did not find it, so I missed out on that. My hope is that maybe they do a re-release and I'll just try and buy it like on Amazon or something, since I know they catch it very early. But overall impressions is that it's a pretty neat figure. It's really nice to have a non-raptor figure. Like I said, we've had so many, especially with the tiger one, and even like who was it, Echo or whoever, the one with the odd paint job. To like, kind of be a little bit disappointing because it's another raptor and the paint jobs aren't 100% accurate. So with this, I think that Mattel kind of went out and made a really, really awesome little, well, it's not little, it's actually quite big, but a very awesome Pteranodon figure. And if you were to buy a couple of these, granted that would probably be like $60 just for two. If you were to buy a couple of these, you could, a few of these or whatever, you could army build. But again, just my biggest problem with this line is more just the price point. I don't want to be that kind of guy, but $30 is a lot to ask for, especially for these figures. Like, they're really nice. I think the sculpting and detailing is there. I think the painting, whenever Mattel decides to put in the effort, is really good, but it's not always consistent. As I said with like Echo, I believe it's Echo, the one with the incorrect paint job, and especially the new like tiger stripe Velociraptor from the Lost World, where people saying that like that's not even accurate either. It makes it feel not worth it paying $30 for these figures, especially because most of them are raptors, and so It feels like you're more just army building, if anything. And so I just think that like maybe the $20 range would have been better, but I don't know. I always want to give studios the benefit of the doubt. Maybe the materials they're using is a lot more cost heavy. I mean, because this one actually uses rubber, which is interesting. There's even a bendy wire. It's not all throughout, which I think is kind of annoying, but it's still like throughout enough of it to where you can get like an interesting pose with this. I think giving him rubber wings was actually a really cool idea. Um, but regardless, my best thought is that maybe because of the materials and stuff, they have to make it $30. But and the size of them too, they're bigger than their $20 human figures. But I don't know. I just feel like $20. I mean, $30 is a lot to ask for. Um, Especially when they're not always, for this being a collector's line, they're not always accurate to the movies, which is the point of a collector figures, that it came straight out of the movie. So yeah, but I mean that's more with the other figures. I mean this one I think is definitely worth $30. It's like I said, the detail, paint, sculpting, and just the fact that it's a new figure, not just another raptor. It's a really cool looking pteranodon, and I think that they really captured like the detail, extraordinarily well. Um, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people were saying like that the Mattel Jurassic World, their mainline figure of the pteranodon would probably be just as well. But honestly, like seeing this, like this definitely feels a lot bigger. The painting and sculpting feels a lot more. At least it's painting, because Mattel actually has really good sculpting on their figures, but the painting looks a lot more. Like they applied a lot more to it. With the dry brushing and everything. Articulation is pretty good. Some parts are a little stiff, but I think that's just because of the plastic. It's very rubbery type of plastic, and not just these parts, but like the legs can sometimes are a little stiff to move. But so far nothing has been broke. Everything works really well. And just overall, I mean, I think, like I said, this is a really cool figure, and I'm glad they gave him a flight stand. This is the first time where I used the Mattel flight stand, and I think that it came in very handy, because otherwise this guy would they knew. So yeah, I mean it's cool that they gave a stand, and one that's actually kind of useful. And just overall, really cool figure. I mean, I definitely recommend. Normally, I would say, well, if you've been collecting the Amber Collection line, then I don't see why we wouldn't collect this. But that was mainly for the Raptor figures, because at a certain point they all kind of became the same, and it was just something where I was saying like if you wanted this, definitely then yeah, I get it, because it's you know what you're getting. With this, I definitely say it's a high recommend for me, because it's new, it's different, and it's actually really good. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next figure. All right, and here we have Mattel's Camp Cretaceous Spinosaurus, and I gotta say this thing is really cool. Um, it Now there are some issues with it. The standing is a bit difficult. When I first got it, I just wanted to lean like that. I had to find some way to kind of pose the legs so that it could sort of stand somewhat okay. And even then, it's still kind of, you can see right there, there's that big gap where it's just leaning. Um, it's weird because there's like a ratchet. There's like almost this click part, like if you heard that, but it's only in that one spot. So if you want to like get it in like a decent like okay like mid stand pose, you can't, because as you can see, or yeah, you can actually see it right now. It's happening in real time. It's just kind of slowly going down on its own, and yeah, I mean, yeah, you can see right there. I'm not even like at a certain point. It's just moving on its own. I think that that's actually quite annoying, and from what I've heard, that's actually an issue. And you can see it just goes all the way down, so there's not even like any midpoint. So I believe that was an issue that the original Spinosaurus had, and I think even the blue version might have had. I'm not sure. I was actually so close to getting the blue one, but I wanted to hold off and see if I could like wait and get it, and then when I went to go look for it, it was already gone. So I missed out on the blue version, even though it was right there. And the second I saw this guy up online, I tried to snag him as soon as I can. I just kept checking Target over and over again, and kept an eye out for people saying it's up, it's up. So once and then finally I was able to catch it on Target's website, and I got it for a store pickup. Um, Now, thankfully, the tail is actually holding its pose. I mean, it's a little loose, but it's much stiffer than I think some people were having issues with. Other than that, like the joints here are pretty good. No big issues. The neck has a really good range of articulation, looking up and down. It can open up like that. It's really cool. I love that little feature right there, just like the what do you call it? Stomping, or not the stomping, the chomp and strike T-Rex. It doesn't have the battle damage feature like the blue version does, but that's fine. I don't really mind that. The sail fin is a bit small, but like I said, it doesn't bother me. I will say the unpainted claws are a bit annoying, but it's whatever. I think that the sculpting for this dinosaur is just amazing. Maybe not too realistic, but I just love the pebble-like scales that it has going throughout all her body. And even though obviously a lot of people aren't a big fan of Jurassic Park's shrink wrap type design for their dinosaurs, it's really cool to see the rib cage and even like the little sockets for the nose and for the eyes and stuff. I really love the detail to that. And again, just how crocodilian they made it look, from like even like the kind of scoot or scale like pattern of like a crocodile going all the way down the tail. The feet are big, but again, I mean, I know it bothers some people. It doesn't really bother me. But yeah, I mean, and I love the paint, even though it's not accurate to the movie. I always thought the Spinosaurus was kind of brownish in the movie. I know it's supposed to be like more of a grayish blue or something like that, but I always saw it as brown. And so to see a more like kind of, I don't know, I don't know what this is really faithful to. I don't think this is really faithful to anything, but it's a nice combination of what we saw from the promotional material, and but they still include aspects from the movie, like the red face and the red going down the spine. It's a really cool just a color pattern they got going throughout this figure, and I really like it. And some of the like more subtle shading with the paint gives it a nice subtle transition and everything. So just overall a really cool figure. And real quick, I do want to do some comparisons, so let me get something out. All right, here we have a little size comparison. So I decided to grab out my I believe this is the Stomp and Strike T-Rex. This is like this is from like a couple years ago. This is the old T-Rex that Mattel first came out with back in the day. It's hard to believe how old it is. I mean, I feel like Fallen Kingdom came out like just yesterday, and already it's been like a few years since then. But yeah, there's the Stomp and Strike. This is obviously the Indominus Rex, which still has the really cool feature. That's actually the grabbing. I love this. Still love that. But yeah, you can see just like a little size comparison between these three and obviously the Spinosaurus. She's about the same size as the Stomp and Strike T-Rex, which is pretty cool because I believe the JP1 / Jurassic World T-Rex is bigger, because she's supposed to be like one of the bigger T-Rexes. I believe the reason why the Spinosaurus looks so much bigger than the T-Rex in the Jurassic Park 3 is because of the fact that it was just a smaller Tyrannosaur. Like, it wasn't a juvenile from what I know, but it just wasn't as big as the Jurassic Park 1 T-Rex. So, it's kind of cool to see some bit of continuity going on between the toys. And then obviously the Indominus Rex is just gigantic. I believe I've read on the lore saying that like has a bit of Giganotosaurus, however you say it, DNA in it, so it makes it much bigger than any other dinosaur. But yeah, so as you can see, like scaling, it's not gonna be a problem. You're gonna be able to fit this, fit your Spinosaurus in with your other dinosaurs. So it's really cool. And just overall, I think that, yeah, I mean, $30 if you're able to find it, because I can already see that at my Targets and Walmarts it's not even anywhere. Like it didn't even reach the shelves. I'm pretty sure everyone snatched it before it could even reach the shelves. So if you're able to find it, definitely pick it up. If not, then just hopefully you can find it somewhere else for that's cheaper than $100 because I know that people are gonna jack up the prices. But I really do think it's worth the $30 price tag. And even if you have to pay a few dollars more because of scalpers, I mean, don't pay too much. But if you really, really want this guy, or I guess girl, I'd say she's worth it. It's a really cool figure. I always love the Spinosaurus figure, so I'm just glad to finally have one. And again, if you're looking for it, just like I said, don't pay too much, but definitely try and get it if you're looking for it. It's a really good one. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to the next figure. All right, so for this section, I'm going to be showing off the let's see, the DK20 upgrade kit for the Studio Series Devastator, and this is obviously the DNA Designs upgrade kit. And it actually it doesn't look like it, but it actually comes with quite a bit of stuff. It's just really small things. I shouldn't say small, but it's just things that are scattered throughout that really beef up this figure and make it much more accurate to how it is in the movie. For example, the head section, they were able to come out with this like almost headpiece that easily well, getting onto this little part right here was a little tough, but other than that, it like snaps seamlessly into the head sculpt, and it makes the head design a lot more round and bulkier, which is definitely way more faithful to how he looked in the movie. And it even comes with like the little ear things, which is really cool to see. And even the way he attaches, so you actually get these little tiny pegs that insert into these sections, and then you get like a little. If you saw when I was putting it together, you get a little thing that inserts into here, and so you just stick the head on, put this part of the truck into these. I'm doing a terrible job of explaining it. I'm sorry, but essentially this connects to the head through this way, and so he actually is able to look up a little better. I don't want to say easier because the second I let him go, he's gonna look down. So he's still looking down, but honestly, in the movie, he was really hunched over anyway. So this is still a lot better than him just looking straight down. At least here, like especially if you're find the sweet spot and you can move the legs around. Like this especially is a really good pose. And it's just accurate to the movie. I remember in the movie he had kind of a longish neck, so this looks like about spot on. Which actually, okay, I was about to say he's holding it right now, but as you see, let's see. I wonder if maybe I could snap it. But anyways, but yeah, he also comes in with these hoses and these flaps right here, which are a pain in the butt to install, and I actually got them flipped, so I had to like unscrew these parts and flip them around, because once you clip these in, they're a pain in the butt to take out, and I would not recommend doing it. I felt like I was gonna break them, so I just had to take these pieces and flip them around. But again, it just makes them feel a lot more bulkier. Like it hides the empty spots that were originally there, and it like bulks up his shoulders and gives him that more screen accurate look. And speaking of bulking up, he gets these pieces right here that are on both arms, or both biceps. And again, just it thickens the arm so that it doesn't look so thin. I got the pre-order bonus. Actually, there's two pre-order bonuses. One comes with his Devastator wrecking balls, and the other comes with this and the chest piece, which I felt like was absolutely a must-have. I think it was for a first production run, so I don't know if you can still get it right now. I probably doubt it. But it's definitely you see right here with the So this is actually a gun for Mixmaster. But since I have Mixmaster in his combined form, you can actually they found a way to where you could just it's not the best, but you could actually just stick it on like that and say it's an extra gun. Which he does have his missile pods for this form, which is really cool. Comes on the forearms or the biceps. But again, which is really cool. But it's not the best utilization of it, but it's better than nothing. And like I said, he does come with a chest piece, which again I thought was very necessary for this figure because it doesn't bulk in, but it kind of makes it feel more. It just feels more complete with it. Like, I mean, granted, he's crawling. Like in this pose I got him in, he's crawling, so I guess it's not really necessary. But if you had him standing up, I feel like it would have been absolutely necessary to get that piece because it's just empty there, and so it just looks wrong, and so it was nice that they included that piece to really give you that option. And one of the other pieces is, and granted, this might be one that some people like, some people probably will not like at all, but they included the wrecking balls from the movie for the part where John Turturro's character was under him, and just the really goofy scene. I thought it was funny, and so I was actually very happy they put that in. But I know a lot of people won't be that crazy about it. Again, it's an exclusive. I believe it's a pre-order exclusive. So if you didn't want it, then you don't have to worry about getting it. Plus, it's an upgrade kit, so it's not mandatory to put it on there anyways. But I just thought that was really funny. And then the last piece is his vortex grinder, which looks really cool. I love this. I almost feel like maybe they should make a second upgrade kit, but instead of it being extra pieces, I mean, if they want to put extra pieces, that'd be cool. But instead of putting extra pieces, you could just swap the head, and you can give him the giant vortex sucking head that he had in the movie, where his face just expanded and it was just like, just sucking up all the air, and obviously Skids and Muff like, look at this mother, boom, mean robots suck. It's very, very goofy scene. Those two are very ridiculous, but yeah, and I think that'd be a fun inclusion if they ever do a second one. But if not, this is still a really cool upgrade kit, and I mean, I don't know if you can still get it or not. If it's available, I'd say definitely get it. Now I will say putting this together was a pain in the butt. I did not enjoy putting it together. As you saw, there were several times where I was trying to put things on, and it just got so frustrating that I just had to turn off the camera and just show you how it looked later. And that's just because it was kind of a pain in the butt to put them on. But regardless, it's still really cool, and I think that this is a great kit that DNA Designs make. Now, my Devastator, I don't know about anyone else's, but mine is just really loose in terms of the tabs. I really wish Hasbro and Takara found a better way to have things kind of connect together. If maybe there was more of a locking mechanism or something to keep everything tight and sturdy. Because every time I want to move this guy around, something's always kind of falling apart. And I have to go back and reconnect it. But regardless, my original thoughts about this guy were I thought he was really cool. I loved what they'd done. And I think that with this upgrade kit, it just makes me love him even more just because he looks more accurate now. I know Devil Savior is probably the one that people are going to be more happy with. And that's fair because he does look like he's going to be a little more accurate. But as far as like retail, simplicity and, for a more affordable price, I think that I definitely like this version a lot. I just really like it because it and especially with the upgrade kit, it really captures how he looked in the movie. And it's just really cool to be able to take like these, the $20 to $30 to $50 figures and just put them together, and it just made everything feel all worth it. So yeah, I mean, really cool, and again, really cool upgrade kit. So I believe there's no other figures I'm gonna show off. So let's just go ahead and wrap this up. All right, and here we have all the figures we checked out for this video. I want to thank y'all for watching. Like these are all really cool videos, and it was really cool checking them out. And I thank y'all for looking at this video. I'm sorry about if I sound super nasally. Again, just like the lighting situation, it's just something I can't control. Weather's been really crazy over here, so I've been kind of acting up, or my sinus has been kind of acting up. But I'm not sick, at least as far as I know. I still feel fine, so don't worry about that. I'm just a little nasally right now, and I apologize for that. But anyways, thank y'all for watching this video, and I don't know if I'll post pictures of these guys, but if I do, you can find them on my Instagram page, Giovanni Arts and Collectibles. There I show off, like I said, my collectibles. I show off sculptures and my artworks, all that kind of stuff. So again, if y'all want to check that out, Giovanni Arts and Collectibles, definitely do it. I'd appreciate it. And yeah, thank y'all. So have a great day.